good morning and welcome to Nature Watch. Nature Watch is sponsored by Waddell's Nursery, Floral, Garden, and Bird Center at the corner of 12th Street and Millam Road. And now your host of Nature Watch from Waddell's, it's Gary Miller. Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
How is ya?
Well, actually, it's starting to feel a little more humid out there again.
Yeah, it's getting a little sticky. A little sticky this morning, but not bad.
I know, a little dew out there this morning, so dewy this morning, and no Huey or Louie though.
Yeah. You're just.
I actually had a whole bunch of them today. So
well, you got any more? Because you can carry us today. Okay. I'm looking at radar, and we do have some showers and thunderstorms on the way. However, they are way back at the Iowa-Illinois border. Right now, so the Mississippi River.
And actually, Scott was showing this morning that they had some severe thunderstorm warning out there, or watch out there in Iowa. So there's a chance of being severe, and it's going to be scattered again.
Right.
Which is sort of the story lately, because Wednesday I had three, I'm going to call them very brief sprinkles at my house. two, one in the afternoon, one about 8:30 at night, and there was one overnight because I was watching to look at the radar. And I had a total whopping of, and I was being very generous calling it 0.05 of an inch, not even half a tenth. And I had some customer come in Thursday to the store, and they said they had over an inch on Wednesday. I'm like, not in my house.
Okay, if it's going to rain, let it rain. I'm going to get carpal tunnel from turning the wipers on, off, adjusting the speed, back, forth. It's starting to get annoying.
But, every Saturday you're like, oh gosh, what are we going to talk about this week? Oh, I can always talk about the weather because the weather always throws you something new.
Okay, it is still dry.
It is. So the drought monitor didn't change really for Kalamazoo County much, but the overall area in the lower peninsula is enlarged a little bit for the abnormally dry. I was surprised it didn't move more than it did, to be honest.
Yeah.
And but this time of year we usually don't have a lot of rainfall anyway, so I know they take that into account too as far as where we're at with normal precipitation. But the ground's still dry,
right?
And I still think we're going, unless we get some good soaking rains here pretty consistently everywhere, we're going to see that expand. It's expanded elsewhere in the country too. So.
Mother Nature is probably going to say, well, Lawless keeps talking about how dry it is. I'm going to give him some snow this winter.
So talking about snow, good segue there, Jim. Jim and I don't coordinate before, so this is good.
Oh, wow.
So they came out with the UP Winter 2024-2025 season snowfall report this week.
Oh, I know they always get walloped,
and
for the most part.
So yes, and they got it last winter. So the top amount of snowfall in the Upper Peninsula this last winter was in Calumet, Tamarack area, so around the city of Calumet, 331.6 inches. Almost 30 feet, almost approaching 30 feet there.
I'm going to stay in our little corner of the world and yell about how dry it is. Is that fine? Because that's a little overkill.
I thought that'd be interesting just to, maybe feel a little cooler out there with the humidity coming back. So Wednesday was unbearable this week.
Oh, it did.
And then Thursday was just a dream. It was finally got a break. Getting very, very comfortable out there. Yesterday was okay. It's starting to get a little bit more humid. Today's supposed to be more humid. Tomorrow and Monday looks like it's going to be a little more comfortable again. And then Mother Nature's going to remind us that it's still summer.
Right.
And looks like Tuesday, Wednesday, or Wednesday, Thursday, we are going to be back in that miserable stage again. Very, very humid and in the 90s.
Sauna.
So this last week on Wednesday, I was actually off work on Wednesday in that heat. Didn't do much out in the yard because it was too blasted hot. And in the afternoon, I was looking some temperatures around us because I was curious to see what some of the temperatures around were. And up in the middle of the Upper Peninsula, about halfway between Manistee and Munising, on Wednesday afternoon when it was 91, 92 degrees here and heat indices of 94, 95, it was 64 degrees.
And I saw the wind chill was in the 40s.
It was. So at the same time, the Michigan Storm Chasers actually posted at the same time in the afternoon when we had heat indices of 94, 95 here, up in Houghton, Hancock, they had a wind chill of 47. They posted later up near Copper Harbor, the coldest wind chill that they showed Wednesday afternoon was 39 degrees.
Boy. Okay, folks, we do rely here on Storm Team 8 to update our forecast for us, but online on Facebook, Michigan Storm Chasers, check it out. They are very good at what they do.
Yeah, they actually post some really neat things out there from all sorts of things around the state weather-wise, and occasionally elsewhere. I know they had an earthquake up in Alaska, and shortly afterwards they issued a tsunami warning.
Yeah.
And then they retracted that because they actually didn't turn into a tsunami, but they actually had all the conditions and they had a start of it, and then it sort of fizzled out. But they had the entire Alaska coast as far as, even including all of the Kodiak Island that was on that warning initially.
Better safe than sorry. It's like when we have a severe thunderstorm or a tornado watch, and then when the storms come through and underperform, we get yelled at. I'd rather at least know, hey, there might be an issue than just go along with my day and suddenly, oh, what's that? A tornado?
And they actually had posted that. They actually had issued that warning because the warning actually had suggested to people to get at least 50 feet above ocean sea level, and or if you couldn't get that far elevation wise, at least a mile plus inland, just in case we had the tsunami hit. So they wanted to take precautions because those you can't outrun them, with all the different storms in that we've had, Michigan not Michigan Storm Chasers, but it was another storm chaser page that I follow, and actually somebody else had posted it and shared it. And this was as of the 15th of July. So beginning of the week. So far in the U.S., they've had a jaw-dropping 1,762 flash flood or flood warnings. Now think about that, almost 2,000. And that was not just for the season, that was from July 1st to July 14th. 14 days, so that really tells you how bad the weather is, and you can get flash floods anywhere. And we've had flash flood warnings here in Michigan, and in fact, we've had a couple in the last week with some of those tremendous scattered rain showers that they don't drop anything at my house or very little, and they dump somewhere else. So we've had some big rainfall events that cause those floods. So with that heat coming up, we had, Jim's mentioned this before too, we're going to have corn sweat this next week.
But I've got to say this because I'm seeing sweet corn stands popping up like crazy.
Well, it's about time.
You just go right down the street to the Shell station.
Yeah. So actually, the Michigan Storm Chasers, they have some neat photos on there too, and they actually Wednesday afternoon, somebody posted from up at Houghton Lake. Several people did fantastic photos of this huge shelf cloud storm coming in over Houghton Lake, and just impressive photos looking at that. So it always interesting to see what's out there weather-wise. I usually look at the Michigan Rare Bird Alerts to see what rare birds are around, and I had to laugh when I started looking at the list because here in Southwest Michigan in this last week, and you're going to think I'm speaking alien talk here. So these are some of the rare birds that have seen and spotted and confirmed sightings. And I'm going to read them off to you, and it's going to sound like I'm speaking some alien tongue. So these are the birds.
Okay.
Whimbrel. Marbled godwit. Ruddy turnstone. Dunlin. Blue grosbeak. We've talked about those before. And American avocet. Now, the interesting thing about this is that the whimbrel, the marbled godwit, ruddy turnstone, and the dunlin are all birds that nest up in the Arctic Circle. And they've been confirmed sightings here in Southwest Michigan. So sort of goes against the climate change and global warming and that. But I think they're confused birds because the blue grosbeak, which we've talked about before, nests farther south and it's farther north here, so it coincides with climate change. The American avocet nests typically in the Dakotas and Texas and westerly into the mountains. And so either some very confused birds or they blew off storm system. I'm guessing the ones that usually nest in the Arctic were flying north this spring and decided, I'm tired of flying. I'm just going to nest here. So
there you go. Okay. Tell you what, We're about 10 minutes into this thing, and we have not given away a prize yet. We're slacking around here.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do a trivia.
Okay.
Okay, $20 gift card up for grabs if you are the first correct caller at 269-382-4280 with Gary's either softball question or he's going to throw you a heater, one or the other.
This is sort of a softball question, I think.
Okay.
It's a little interesting fact I ran across this week. And so my question today is, how fast do honeybees fly?
Ooh.
Little trivia question about honeybees.
That's it.
How fast do honeybees fly? And they're actually, so I can hear everybody's Google searches buzzing out there.
There you go. 269-382-4280. If you want a $20 gift card to Waddell's and you're very good at hitting Google and figuring it out for us, give us a call.
Yeah. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I have it on my big screen too. So
apparently our live stream is not working real good this morning. So we apologize about that.
Yeah, I will go kick the server when we take a break and see if that helps.
Maybe just unplug it and plug it back in or something. We'll have to try.
We tried that. I got to kick it now.
So today is the start of National Moth Week. I mentioned that last week, and so that goes through next weekend, the 27th, so 19th through the 27th. And I ran across some neat moth facts I thought I'd share today. So some moths don't have mouths, like the Luna moth doesn't have a mouth, so it can't eat, and it only lives for about a week with the singular purpose of mating. So some moths do eat. Some moths are great pollinators. There's a lot of moths that are personators, so they have markings on their wings that look like big eyes. So it's a safety feature. The hornet moth looks just like a hornet, but is completely harmless. And the beautiful wood nymph moth has evolved to look just like bird poop.
Okay. There you go. Our question this morning, how fast do honeybees fly?
Yes.
Simply put, 269-382-4280. First correct caller gets a gift card, and I have a caller. Who is this? Hello? Hello? Okay, well, I guess not there.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on. Okay.
So some other moth facts while we're waiting for some calls to come in.
Yeah.
Moths love a good microbrew. So...
Oh, they're high class.
Nothing attracts these guys like beer. So a tip from the scientists, mix a paste of beer, brown sugar, and banana, paint it on some trees, kick back, and relax. And then check back in the evening with your flashlight to see the multitude of moths that you're sure to attract with that. And that's actually how they get moths to actually study what moths are in the area and actually use that mixture.
Now I think I've got a caller. Good morning, I had a caller. Okay. Yeah. So we're having a phone problem too. Oh, I got to kick that.
So moths can turn bears into tigers. I know it sounds funny,
let's try this again. Good morning, WKZO.
Good morning.
The phone does work. Who is this?
This is John from Portage.
John from Portage. How fast do honeybees fly?
My wife tells me they fly anywhere from 15 to 27 miles an hour.
Well, I would listen to her probably. Is that right?
That is correct.
Hey, that's a pretty big spread, 15 to 27.
Yeah, so typically they sustain flying. They can sustain flying about 15 miles an hour in short bursts of speed to evade predators or so, birds attacking them or so. Yeah. They can go up to that 20, 25, almost 27 miles an hour.
Wow.
But not for very long distances, just like humans.
Oh,
so humans can run sustained distances in that 6 to 12 miles per hour. In a sprint, they can do 22 to 27 miles an hour. So
I used to. No, John, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. There you go, John. You're our winner of a $20 gift card. I do need to get some information from you, so can you hold on the line for just a moment?
I can do that.
Excellent. Thanks, John. I'll get back with you in just a moment, and we'll get back with the rest of you after this break. I get information from John, and I kick a server. Do all that next right here on Nature Watch on WKZO.
Wouldn't you love to have loads of summer blooms in your landscape without having to spend loads of time taking care of the plants? Waddell's Nursery Florist and Garden Center has hydrangea shrubs that will do just that. Give you blooms galore without much effort. Waddell's carries over 40 varieties of hydrangeas that are just starting to bloom, and this week they're all $10 off. Eclipse hydrangeas have cranberry-colored blooms and dark purple, almost black leaves, so they stand out all season long. Another can't miss is Bloomstruck. With Bloomstruck hydrangeas, you'll enjoy pink, purple, and blue blooms all on one plant. For a more compact hydrangea, get Wee Bit Innocent with lush mop-head doubled blooms of pastel pink, blue, and purple. Dozens of other varieties are also available, including climbing hydrangeas, oak leaf hydrangeas, and endless summer. And right now, they're all $10 off through next Wednesday. Waddell's Nursery Florist and Garden Center, open Saturday 9 to 5, Monday through Friday 9 to 6, closed Sundays.
For over 75 years, your home for Detroit Tigers baseball. 590 and 106.9 FM. WKZO.
I was talking to John, don't mind me. Our big winner, $20 gift card to Waddell's. Honeybees fly between 15 and 27 miles an hour. Now, wind could be a factor there, too, when you think about it.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
and so I was interested. I ran across that little fact, and I thought, oh, gosh, I know how fast humans run, how fast honeybees can fly.
Yeah.
How fast can wasps, hornets, and bumblebees fly? So bumblebees usually fly about 7 to 10 miles an hour, so you can outrun them in a short burst of speed.
Mm-hmm.
Wasps and hornets, on the other hand, unless you're Speedy Gonzalez and you can sprint very, very rapidly, you're not going to be able to outrun them. So if you disturb that nest, you need to take some other precautions. The wasp depends on the species, but can go 7, 15, or 25 miles per hour, again, depending on species. Hornets, the ones that, again, like wasps, can sting over and over again, typically fly about 14 or 15 miles an hour, but they can fly up to 25 miles an hour when they're disturbed or angry.
Yeah, and this is why we hate them.
Yes. Well, and the other thing is that wasps and hornets, when they sting you, they don't lose their stinger, so they sting you over and over again. Where honeybees, when they sting you, it's a fatal thing because they can sting you once, their little barbed stinger gets stuck in your skin, it rips out of their body, and they die. So if they do that, it's sort of a last hurrah. So some neat, interesting things about the honeybees and some of the other insects. So I was mentioning moths can turn bears into tigers. So the woolly bear caterpillars emerges from its cocoon in the spring as a lovely Isabella tiger moth. So a bear to a tiger. The fun fact is, once a cocoon is spun, the caterpillar turns into a mushy soup during metamorphosis before emerging as a moth. Mm-hmm. So we have moth soup or moth larva soup, woolly bear soup, and then it turns into the moth. And the other neat thing is, and this is not a moth that I'm real familiar with, but the death's head moth, hawk moth, got its start as far as name in Bram Stoker's Dracula when people started noticing or learning about it. Actually had some leading roles in The Silence of the Lambs and the Mothman prophecies. And it gets its name from the skull-shaped pattern on its thorax. And it has the unusual ability to emit loud squeaks when irritated. So a squeaking moth if irritated. So some neat moth facts. I thought I'd mention that for the Moth Week coming up. And then just to get you prepared for next weekend, so next Sunday, the 27th, you will be able to celebrate 3 holidays at the same time. And I mentioned this because they involve some activities you can do out in nature.
Oh, okay.
So next Sunday, the 27th, is Take Your Pants for a Walk Day, Take Your Houseplants for a Walk Day, and the third holiday next Sunday that you can do all these 3 at the same time is National Walk on Stilts Day. So I think you can celebrate all 3 holidays at the same time.
Stilts, Savannah Bananas, the player that gets up on the stilts and pitches and bats. And oh, my goodness.
So I happen to see those. I usually check holidays, see if there's some neat holidays related to nature, and that one ran across that one. Tonight,
Stilts?
Yes.
How does that tie into nature?
Walking. Walking.
Well,
So it was
okay.
the walking thing. Walking on
Okay.
stilts. And we got these other 2 walking activities.
Okay.
Do them all 3 on the stilts. And so you can go out in nature.
Nah,
if you're on the stilts, watch out for the groundhog holes, though, because that might throw you off balance a little bit.
I like being grounded, so I'm good. I'm good.
So tonight, if the weather holds up and we don't get cloudy, there's a chance it may get cloudy. The Kalamazoo Astronomical Society has their public observing session at the Nature Center starting at 9:30. And they're talking about the summer triangle, that asterism formed by the bright stars Vega, Deneb, and Altair. And so check out their website. Usually about 6:30 they'll post if they're going to cancel or postpone that because of the weather.
You may even find a meteor shower or two happening.
Well, actually, I mentioned that a little bit. So the Perseid meteor shower started 2 days ago, and that actually goes through September 1st.
Okay.
Actually runs for a long time. And you might want to start looking here between now and the end of July because when we get to the peak around the 12th or 13th of August, the moon is going to be almost full. And you're not going to be able to see it because of the moonlight.
Yeah.
You'll still be able to see some of the really bright ones, but they suggest that you can actually stand in a shadow, so you sort of black out the moon, like a shadow of a barn or something, and see that. The neat thing is that they get named, the meteor showers get named for where they look like they originate from. They're sort of point that they all come out of the sky from. And in this case, it's the constellation Perseus. And so it usually you look towards the northeast, you can see it. The neat thing right now is that usually they say the peak is like just before dawn, so real early in the morning is the best viewing time. The neat thing is that because of the location of the constellation and the tilt of the Earth right now, that constellation of Perseus basically rotates around the pole, North Pole, around the North Star, and so it you can actually see that origination point all night long. But you're still going to see it up in the sky. The best time is towards dawn, so like real early in the morning before it starts getting light out. So before 4:30, if you go out and see, and you're going to look to the northeast, it's going to be that origination point is going to be about 70 degrees above the horizon then. So it's going to be up in the sky a long ways. Best thing to do is get either lay on the ground, get something to pad, lay on the ground, or get a nice reclining, zero gravity chair or so, and just recline yourself back, and just sort of not focus on one point, but sort of look in that general direction. You can see those meteors about every direction that you can imagine. And I was laughing. I was looking at some of the websites, some of the gear that they were suggesting. A red screen flashlight so you don't ruin your night vision when you're out looking about. They suggested because it can get chilly when you're out looking at the meteor showers.
Yeah. That
a heavy coat, maybe even a wool stocking cap. And I'm thinking when it was really hot out this week, I'm like, that's not something I want to wear. But there might be protective gear to keep you from the mosquitoes if it's that warm out.
Yeah, that as well. I'll tell you, was it Thursday morning, it was actually kind of cool.
It was cool.
Because we had the wind going on and it was misting.
I thought it was very refreshing.
And I was like, "Brr!" And I made a post on Facebook and people looked at me really weird. I'm just saying.
So, so if you have a chance, get out. Again, it's going to be getting more and more common as far as more numbers of meteors that you can see. The peak you can see as many as maybe 150 per hour if you're in a really dark spot. So you got to find a dark spot so you don't have any ambient lights, and then you can if you lay back there and look at the peak time of night, you can actually see the really faint ones going across too. So you can see quite a few of them. Pretty exciting to see. But with the moonlight this year, we're going to have to try to see most of them before then. So looking for things, MDARD and the DNR came out with a news press release this week. What to do if you see spotted lanternfly this summer? And if you remember, they still have the saying, see it, squish it, report it.
Yeah, and we're not overkilling this because this is a big issue.
This is a huge issue. So if you see spotted lanternfly, they're actually asking you, take a photo of it so you can identify. There are some lookalikes. If you go to their websites, they have photos of the lookalike insects so you don't squish the wrong ones. But take a photo of it, and then they say squish it, and then report it. But spotted lanternfly is really of a concern because they've already confirmed it in Michigan and southeastern Michigan, Lenawee, Macomb, Monroe, Oakland, and Wayne counties. So it's here in Michigan in the southeast. It's just across the line here from southwest Michigan in northern Indiana around South Bend. They've confirmed sightings last year.
Okay.
And so what they say is if you see it, stay calm. Doesn't pose any risk to human or animal health. Consider contacting an arborist who is certified pesticide applicator for information about appropriate treatment methods if there is a large infestation in your property. And then focus pest management in areas where spotted lanternfly is most abundant. You want to be careful because typically the insecticides are not selective, so they're going to affect all the beneficials too. So if you do decide to do your own treatment, wear protective gear. Some of those very diligent or very strong pesticides require a license to apply them. And we'll talk a little bit more about some of the other plants, but they eat just about everything. And that's the concern because one of their prime plants that they really go after are fruit trees. I mean, all the fruit trees and fruit industry here in Michigan, that's what their big concern is.
Yeah.
So,
And we're getting very, very close to harvest there,
yes.
which will ramp up Welch's and Lawton.
Yes, it will.
And they'll start working 7 days a week. I know a few people that used to work there. So.
But if you have a chance in these comfortable days, the next few days, get outside and enjoy the outdoors before it gets really hot and humid again. Then, really hot and humid might be a good time to find that nice shade tree and relax and get the binoculars out, watch for birds. There's a lot of birds. I saw some neat birds on the way in this morning. Several sandhill cranes and some Canada geese are pretty common. Blue heron, so it was actually fun to see, and a red-tailed hawk, all on the way in this morning.
There you go.
So,
you see, you never know.
You never know. So that's why it's nice to have those binoculars handy, and sometimes it's just fun just to find that comfortable spot, comfortable chair, and just sit out and just watch all the birds, listen to them, use the Merlin app, and ID what birds in the area.
There you go. All right, Gary, thank you. Nature Watch at Waddell's.com. If you have questions during the week, you can email Gary just like that. And thank you for listening to this edition of Nature Watch. Tune in each Saturday at 8:30 for Nature Watch. Brought to you by Waddell's Nursery, Floral, Garden, and Bird Center at the corner of 12th Street and Millam Road. CBS and local news next, and then Over the Garden Fence on 590 and 106.9 FM WKZO.